All right, welcome back. We're going to be continuing off from where we left off. Again, make sure you guys are saving this as milestone 4 as you go through. We've got a couple more things today to show off what we're going to show today. We actually need to build some new things. So let's go ahead and turn off our extra layers now. So we'll just go ahead and hide our dimensions. Oops, dimensions. Did I move my elevation mark? Yeah, okay. We'll get rid of our section markers for now and our room labels. Okay, so once we're back here, let's add in some furniture. So let me see, I just had measurements up. Let's do a single bed in the bedroom, so 38 by 75. And I've talked a little bit about building furniture, and there's no kind of perfect way to do it. Um, don't go crazy on how much detail you put in. So for like a bed, I'll usually just fillet some corners. Turn on multiple here. So we'll fillet those corners. Come on. 1, 2, okay. I'll offset something like 1.4 inches down here just to kind of indicate that there's a change in the surface here, which kind of helps the people identify which way the bed is facing. And then if you kind of just do like a little corner thing like this, it just makes it look a little nicer. That's all that is. A lot of people like putting pillows in too. Pillows are kind of easy. Just I don't even make them square. Oops. I'll just do something kind of like, oh, let's turn that off. And I'll just kind of go approximately square. If you're feeling fancy, you can even get in here and do like an arc tool and just kind of bend the edges in like that. Come back with a trim and just zap stuff like that. So you can keep building it out as fancy as you want, but realistically, you don't need to go crazy, and I don't expect you guys to do too much for it. As far as detailing sort of furniture. I'm going to go ahead and group this. We can make it a block, but I'm not really going to bother. To place it, what I'm going to do is there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to center on walls. So the bed I'll put here in the center of the room. I'll put it flat against the wall. And to do that, I basically, let me just take a step back here and show you guys what I did. Oh, there we go. Was I took a move on the center of this line right here, matched it up to the center of the wall right here. And then not everything is flat against the wall, so I usually pull a lot of stuff like an inch out, and it gives it a little bit of space there. And then the other thing we'll need, let's go ahead and do some kitchen cabinets real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this 24 inches from the wall. That'll be our countertop depth. And then let's give ourselves a sink here. So I'm going to offset this. We'll do 3 inches from the wall. And we'll do 3 inches in all the way around. And then we'll call this a 22-inch wide sink. So a little bit of a small sink, but it's not a large place we're working with here. Okay. And then whenever you do a sink, it's also nice to, if you fillet the edges on this as well. Oh, not fillet. Multiple. And we'll just join all of these together like that, and then we'll fillet them and then we'll join them and then we'll offset them in a little bit. So join, one polyline, offset 1 inch inside. Actually, let's go outside. And then sometimes it helps if you just come in here and add just a divider here, another 1 inch offset. And then I'm just going to slide this over, say 4 inches. Oops, got that tool turned off still. Okay. Move it over 4 inches. And that's how you would divide a sink. Obviously, you'd probably do that with a larger sink, but working with a small one right now. Okay, so we have that. And then we also need some upper cabinets. So I'm going to offset this 12 inches down. And then this will have to, let's make a couple new layers real quick. So we've got our bed right here. We're going to put that under furniture. So I'll create a new layer for furniture. We'll also need a floor plan upper. And that'll be for that. We'll need another one for plumbing, which the sink will fall under. So I'll give these a couple colors real quick. I haven't colored some of these at all, actually. Well, those don't need them. Furniture. Okay. So we'll put the bed on furniture. We'll put this on floor plan upper for the cabinets. And let's group this sink together too. Again, I could make it a block, not important for this video though. So this will go under plumbing. So we've got that listed. This will be, we'll need a layer for built-ins. Built-in. So that's stuff that is physically installed with the house. That's in comparison to a bed, which can be moved in or moved around at random. So we'll make this built-in, and then this floor upper. Floor upper is going to be one that we will have a dashed line type on. So we've already gone over this. You guys should be able to set this just fine on your own. But I will walk through the process again very quickly. So we've got, just double check. Yeah, oh, no, assign that to the wrong one. Built in. Okay, so we've got that set. We'll run, oh, entirely wrong one, built in, nope. For upper. Okay. This is something you would do for a closet. We don't have enough space to really put closets in these spaces. Okay. Let me just double check our paper space. We're good there. Okay. So we've got all this new stuff in here. The first thing we're going to be going over today is, and I'm actually going to create one more layer for me, and this is going to be wall fill. So I can hide it. So I'm going to move my hatching over to the wall fill layer. And then we'll hide, oops, no, don't click on that. Then we'll hide it. So the first thing we're going to do, we will do some elevations and then we'll do some section cuts. So I have a way of doing elevations that I like to teach you guys. Feel free to figure out your own way, but this I find pretty effective. I call it unrolling. And what I do is I copy out a room, and it works really well, especially if you have a room that's rectangular in shape, where you can copy the entire room like that. So I'll copy and paste this over. And then we'll start at the back here. So the one that's up is going to be the wall that we'll be working off of. So I'll take this right here. I'll select everything but that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rotate 90 degrees like that. Select everything here. I'm going to move it 5 feet over. And then I'm going to repeat that process. So I'm going to select everything that isn't part of that. Rotate it 90 degrees. Move it 5 feet over. And so on until I have these all separated out. as separate chunks. Oops. Deselect that. And 5 feet. Now, I'm assuming that all of these spaces are 8 foot tall. So I'm going to create an 8 foot line right here. And then if I run a copy, and then array, not array, sorry, copy, and then mode multiple. So we'll do copy, and then this will let us just walk down this line right here. And every time I come to the start or end of one, I'm just going to drop in another boundary right here. And then I'll do one line across the top here, and this will be the top part of the walls. And then I'll use what's physically shown here as a reference of what's supposed to be here. So in this case, the bed is technically also here. I can rotate this. I should have left it here. So I know that the bed is physically centered here in the room. So when I'm looking at the elevation on the north side of this room, I should see part of the bed. I should see this door in this next room. I should see a flat wall in this one, so that's the easy one. And then I should see the window here. And I'm not going to show the bed in that one. To actually create the bed, I'll use the width that's shown right here. And let's say this sits off the ground 8 inches. And then it's a, 1 foot thick mattress and box spring. And then I'll do a reference right here and a reference right here to get the width. We'll trim both of these, and then I'll offset this in, say it's on legs, 1 inch thick legs, probably a bit too thin, but whatever. And then I think it's faster to just probably move this down to there and trim it than it is to do those individually. So that gives us the bed. It's a fairly simple bed, but it's representative of what that is. The next thing we have on this one is going to be our door. Unless specified otherwise, everything should be assumed to be hung or framed to 7 foot. Wait. No, 6 foot 8. So unless there's a reason to, I assume that everything is framed to 6 foot 8. So I'm going to offset this to 6 foot 8. Oops, that's not 8. 6 foot 8. And then I'll just move that over there. Can I be lazy and extend? No. Come on. So then that creates the space for the door here. And then we do need to actually close off the bottom of the door here. If you're feeling fancy, you can draw in a door handle here too. We know that the door is going to open up towards the right visually. And then let me do a quick Google search here, door handle height. And I want to say it's 3 inches from the wall, 30 or from the edge, 36 inches from the floor. So we'll do an offset 36 up, offset 3 over, and then we'll just draw a little circle right here. First one will be what, 1.5 inches diameter, and then the other one will be 0.7, or sorry, radius, 0.75 inches radius. And we can just delete those other lines, and we have a door and a handle right there. Window again, offset 6 foot 8. And then we can get rid of our window that's right here. We can move all these up. And then the one thing we'll have to do, because this is a window, is I'm gonna, instead of offsetting this, I'm gonna move this up. And if it's a 6 foot, or we did a 3 foot, I specified it was a 3 foot wide window. I didn't specify a height. I'm going to assume that this is a 3 foot by 3 foot window, which means this will come up to 3'8", and that'll give us the width that we're working with. And then I'll just slide this over. I can slide this over to complete the bottom, trim all of this out. And then however you want to decorate these windows is up to you. You can take these and or actually let's do a join. And I'll do an offset 2 inches. We'll put a bit of framing through the, actually no, what did I indicate these were? So these were just standard single pane windows. So I could just leave the window like that. Something else that also helps identify it's a window is if you just do the little slashies through here. That kind of helps people go, okay, that's a window and not something else. So that set of elevations, very simple set. That would be like the absolute minimum I'd be looking for. If you want to step it up, something I always like doing that I think adds a little bit of class to it is if you add some baseboard moldings. So if you just do like a 1.5-inch offset on all the spaces. Oops, we'll have to get that one. Where was it? There it is. And then the door should also have a little bit of a molding offset to it. So offset 1. And then we'll do a fillet, radius 0, and multiple. And we'll just add a little bit of trim to this door. And then we'll come in here and we'll zap these things we don't need right here. That's fine, that's fine. And then we'll just get rid of these spots as well. So we're not trying to make this ultra realistic. We're keeping it simple, recognizable of what's going on here, but don't go into too much detail. It's not usually worth the effort. Same thing with this next set down here. I'm just going to move it up a little bit. So we'll take this. I am going to I'm going to have to remember that that sink is there. I'll have to do something with that. So we'll rotate this again. We will move this 5 feet. And I do 5 feet just because that's a decent amount of space you can have around each of these. And when we actually start putting it into paper space, we can work around that pretty easily. We'll grab this, rotate. Oops. Move 5 feet. Rotate. Move 5 feet. Okay. So again, I'll just repeat the process here. Let me actually scoot it down so there's a little bit more of a gap up there. We'll start with, actually we can just take this one right here, CO for a copy. We will do mode, multiple, pick our base point again, so we'll go from the bottom corner here and hit each and every one of these corners as we go. Now, because I love saving time, there's nothing I do love more than saving time. I just so happen to know that this room is going to be the exact opposite of this room. So what I'll do is I'll take this, copy it here, and then I can just mirror this. Oh, let's do that. And then we'll draw a line across the top here so we have a reference for the mirror. Don't erase the source. Oh, wait, do erase the source. Shoot. There we go. So that one should be a mirror of it because of where that door is. It's opening into that room. Handle should be the reverse of this view as well. Same thing for this other room here. This should be completely identical except for the sink that we'll need to build. So I'm just going to copy and paste this right here. Let's deal with this door. So I'll close off the top of this space. We will offset this 6'8". Bring this across. I'll just extend that as a reference right there. Let's say we get fancy with this window. Instead of it being a short window, maybe we have this be a 5-foot tall window. Oops, I deleted all the lines. There we go. So maybe this one's going to be 5 foot. So in that case, I'll just offset this down 5 feet. And then we will draw these up. We'll just zap that. And I'm kind of, it's a little bit OCD, but I'm trying to limit the number of extra lines I have. Trim this. Look at that. That. And then what did we do? Offset. What did I offset these at? It helps having a consistent style. Okay, 2 inches for the window. So offset 2 inches, multiple. Oh, right. Let's just make it a group. Or join it. Offset 2. And then we'll give it a couple little lines here, just to make sure everyone knows it's a window and not a door. I think I did what, 1 inch for the door and 1.5 for the molding. So 1 inch for the door. We'll fillet, oops, not fillet, fillet. Radius 0, multiple, and oops, of course I just did it. Okay, there we go. Now, for the door handle here, I can also cheat again here. I know that this door handle right here is in the correct spot. So I can do a CO, specify this as my base point, and I have a door handle that goes right in the correct spot. One more thing, we'll finish off that like that, so we have a bottom under the door. And then let's offset this, what did I do, 1.5 for the molding on the bottom, looks like it. And we will trim out that, and that. Okay, so the cabinets in this are going to be kind of the harder thing that we're going to do here. So I'm going to walk you guys through this. So, okay, so we're going to do fairly standard, boring kitchen cabinets here. Nothing fancy. So I'm going to offset this 36 inches. So these will be our cabinets right here. We'll also offset this again to 3 inches. That'll be the toe kick that we'll deal with, and we'll see all this on the side. I'm also going to bring this down another 1 inch, back down. That'll be the height of our actual countertop itself. And then I drew the line, so we're gonna put in upper cabinets. So your typical offset is going to be 18 inches. So I'll do this up 18 inches, and then we'll say that these are also, say 30-inch tall cabinets. So that's the quick, dirty, easy way to lay out that. We don't have any cabinet faces here. So easiest way to do that is I'm going to come in here, draw that line. I'll take a copy of this right here. I'm going to paste it over here. Trim all of this out. And what I'm going to do is, this is the border that I'm going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is I'll join this together. I'll offset this one. No, let's offset it 2 inches in. Call it middle 1.5. And then the cabinets right here will join in the center. And then each of these is going to offset stylistically. Let's say we've got kind of that sort of style. So I'll give it a 3-inch offset, and then this also needs to offset 3 inches in both directions to complete the look. So now if I go through here and trim all of this out, what I'm left with is something like, oops, yeah, we'll just redraw that one. Something like that. So we'll call this our cabinets. And then I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to freehand a door pull right there. And then to copy this over, we'll mirror it right here. Oops. Try that again. Mirror, middle, don't erase. Okay, so I have this right here. Dirt Simple Easy Cat. Oh, no, actually I wanted that. I'm going to select everything except that exterior. And again, we'll run a CO. I'll reference this top right corner here. And then we'll paste this in at each of these points. And voila, you have cabinets. We'll do the uppers next. Because I did 30 inches here, yeah, these are going to be a bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is I will take, oh, we grouped everything, or we joined it. So we'll go ahead and explode all of those. Let's see, it's, our space here is, so we got 2 inches less. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this whole bottom section, move it up 2 inches. We will trim all of this back out to clean it up. And then the inside here will mirror this. So I'll use this as a reference point, straight out to the side, do erase. And then again, we will copy. Base point will be this corner. And that should reference here and here. So that gives us all our corner, or all of our cabinets there. Dirt simple, super easy way to do it. This isn't correct, I will say, but this isn't a good sync either. That's just how I would lay out cabinets the easy way. If this was something where, I'm not going to expect you guys to do like technically correct cabinets and everything. That's not really, that's more of a specialization in the field. So I wouldn't worry about it. You can do something like this to show like that there's the sink there. It's a little bit more work, and we'll probably get into that later in the semester, showing you guys how to do like smaller, finer details. I'm kind of jamming right now because we have other stuff we need to cover today too. But just keep in mind, this is like cabinetry 101, and we have 102 and 103 and 105. Like there's more to go over for cabinets. I'm just rushing through this right now. The other thing is we have to do the profile of the cabinet. So I'm going to offset this 1 foot, which was our top depth for the uppers. I'm going to offset this 2 feet, which was the cabinet depth for the lowers. As a reference, I'm just going to steal these lines right here. And come on, there we go. So then we'll just trim this out. Oh, oops. Gotta grab that side too. So we'll trim that out. We have this open, that open, and that. But that's not all, because we also have to offset this 1 inch in and this 1 inch down. So this right here is our countertop, and then this right here is the actual cabinet. In addition to this, we also have the toe kick, which is going to be another 3 inches from here. And then we have the toe kick coming up 3 inches. Oops, how did that not place? One more time, offset 3 up. Okay, so we'll take all this, we'll trim this out, and really all we need, because we're cutting through this, and I might want to, if you guys have more questions, I do have the video from last year. I covered this better in last year's, but I also gave up a lot of other things I wanted to cover for the sake of time. So that last year's demo was a little bit better in terms of this, but this is your basic stuff, and then you can go from here. Just like the other one, I'm going to copy this over here. I'm going to mirror it on itself. So I'll just take this point right here, do erase, and then I'm going to just do a virtual reference, get the corner here, place it, and then all I have to do is clean up that. Okay. So that gets us our fairly basic set of elevations. The other thing we still need to cover in this video that I'm 30 minutes into is section cuts. So let's turn our sections back on, and we have 2 sections. And so what I'm going to do for the first section is I'm going to copy this room. I'm going to paste it, and then the arrows are facing to the right, so I'm going to turn this 90 degrees so that it is facing the up direction, or the arrows are facing the direction that I'm working on. And then these aren't going to be super technical because they're just fairly basic section cuts. In fact, because of what they are in this case, actually, I'm just going to steal this right here. Section cuts aren't supposed to show details in the way that elevations do. Elevations are showing what's on the wall, while section cuts are going to show you what is cutting, or what that space looks like. So for this project, it isn't going to be super special. What I can do is I can take the elevations coming through here. So that's our first section. I'll put the second one here. Oh, missed that line right there. Okay. This should be the same wall though. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this here, and then I need to have this offset. We did 4-inch thick walls. So I'm just going to reuse those so I don't have to redo the measurements that I was working with there. And then I'm just going to clear all these out. But the one thing that I do want to show here, get rid of all these first for you. Okay. Is the fact that there is a doorway going through this. So I'm going to draw a line right here at the bottom. I'm going to offset this, or actually I'll just move it up 6'8". And what we're showing in this case is what that cut looks like as it moves through the building. So because there's a door here, when I trim this, when I trim this correctly, we'll end up with that little cut right there. I'm not going to have you guys worry too much about the roofs. Again, I would have you reference a video from the previous year. But what I will have you do is we'll offset the exterior sides of this 6 inches for all the exterior walls. We'll offset the ground 1 foot down. Oops, that's not a foot. And then, again, I'll have you guys reference a video from the previous year for next week, so don't worry about it. Just make them look kind of like this. So just do a foot on the top and bottom and 6 inches on the sides, and then I'll just fillet with a 0-inch radius and just close all these up. And those will generate our section cuts. And again, the purpose that this should be doing is showing how the space changes. We went with these two simple, almost identical 8-foot tall rooms, so there isn't space change to show. If you guys are in a more dynamic project where you have, say maybe this is a much longer space, there's a part of it has a, you know, a raised ceiling, you've got something that drops down, you've got an architectural element, that's when you would use a section cut to really illustrate that space. But this, we are just burning through this. Let me double check. Oops. Okay, so that covers dirt simple, elevations, and section cuts. Again, we'll come back and cover this later. Actually, I shouldn't have cut these. I'm going to leave those in. Okay. And then we can turn on our wall fill. Oops. Stay on layer 0. Turn on wall fill. And then I'm going to hatch wall fill in each of these as well, so that we've got that. Okay. All right. I'm going to close this video out here, and I will see you guys in the next one, where we'll go over construction documents, kind of version 1, and actually putting all these in viewports. So I'll see you guys in that video.